Hey, hello, welcome back. We are jumping right in today. We have a ton of try new makeup, as you can see from the thumbnail, and I have you zoomed in. We're right up close. We actually have to do brows today. I have some new brow products, which I cannot wait to show you. I've been loving both these products, and they're both affordable, which we all love. First product we have here is the Ardell Brow Glue, and I love this, but it does have a little bit of a white cast when you initially apply it. It does go away though, so it doesn't leave the brows goopy. You can see a little bit of white product right now, but I just go in first and then I kind of comb it out with a spoolie and shape my brow. And I personally haven't noticed any issue, and it holds the hairs really nicely. So you can press your hair to the skin to give more of a lamination look to the brows. I just kind of like to comb it through so all the hairs get a little bit of product and then shape it with a spoolie on the side. Give that a little bit of time to dry down. And then we're gonna go in with this brow pencil, which I've fallen in love with. This was a recommendation from Babs Beauty here on YouTube. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow, and I have the shade medium brown. I got this from Amazon in Canada. It's one of those nano brow pencils, and this is the only nano brow that I've used from any brand on the market that I've tried that doesn't snap off, because all these super tiny pencils, they always break on me. This one has not done that to me yet, and it is super teeny tiny. I love the color. I'm just going to use this to fill in the brows. I just like to underline the brow first, and then I go in with brow-like hair strokes throughout the brow. For me, brows really come together once I clean them up with concealer. I'm just going to do that, set my lid with my powder, and then I will get started on our eyeshadow. I have this new Refi brush that I'm going to be using for everything. Pretty much anything with powder. Probably gonna use this brush for. For eyeshadow palette today, I have this Alter Ego Mirage eyeshadow palette. And this looks like one of the Huda Beauty palettes. I think that's what they're going for. Just can't remember which one it is, but it looks really pretty. I hear really good things about the quality of these eyeshadows, so I cannot wait to play around with this. I really wanted to do a gold look today because I keep seeing the Natasha Denona gold palette and I'm feeling a little left out because I don't have it. I want to create my own gold look using this palette. I'm going to take Wander and this shade right here, mix them together. Very pigmented. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to lightly blend this through the crease and concentrate more of it in this outer corner. I have a daytime event to go to today, so I don't want to make this too dramatic. That looks pretty good for built up. I'm going to use a little bit of this clay shade just to clean up underneath the brow, hoping this conceals some of those brow hairs. At least this will help blend out the shadow a little bit. So many of these shades look absolutely stunning to me. I think I'm going to go in with Pyramid though. The carrot shade is a little chunkier, so I'm going to try Pyramid with my finger first. It's very yellow gold. I might actually mix a little bit of Cleopatra in because it's more champagne, just a slight amount. I want this still to be yellow gold, but I feel like mixing those two would be really pretty. Oh yeah, I prefer those two mixed together. Really pretty. We'll clean up the fallout after, taking those two together. Just love that color. Packing it on the lid. I'm going to take the two shades we used in the crease, combine them together, and then lightly deepen up this outer corner. I want to keep it matte out here and blended. Make sure everything is nice and seamless. I'm actually going to probably keep it here for daytime. A lot of times I will continue to deepen up that outer corner to bring more dimension, but because I'm doing a little daytime event today, I think this is really pretty. Sometimes less is more. Often I feel like I need to use so many different shades, but in reality, I think a little is often a lot more impactful. I am going to do brown wing liner because I've been loving that for every day. And this is just the one from Benefit. It's their roller liner. I love this. It wears long and it's a really beautiful color brown. Definitely you can tell it's brown. It doesn't look black, because some brown products just automatically look black. I can see that this is brown. Just trying to keep the wing nice and small. I do have a new mascara to try, and I'm really excited for this one because I've loved the Kylash. This is also from Kylie Cosmetics, but it's their Wisp Lash Mascara, which I'm curious to see how this compares. I love the packaging of the other mascara. This one's super plain, and this is what the brush looks like. I feel like the other one would be more volumizing, and this one, hearing Wisp, I feel like this is going to be lighter, which I thought, again, would be good for daytime. I'm going for light and wispy lashes and maybe a little bit on the outer corner for a press-on lash. Just giving my lashes a quick curl. Sometimes this takes off my eyeliner, so I have to go back and touch it up. I could wait longer, I guess, but I don't. Let's see how this builds up. Yeah, just first application of this, I can tell that this is very different from Kai Lash Formula. If you like a lighter looking lash, you might like this. I much prefer something a little bit more volumizing than this. I'm gonna try layering on a different mascara. A little sample of my Rare Beauty mascara. I love this stuff, so hopefully this can salvage. It's already looking better for me for that eye. Now let's try and fix this one. I was gonna do some press-on lashes. I feel like I need to fill in my lashes a little bit more. So I have these velour lash extensions, which I'm going to try out. So these ones look a little bit more full. These ones more natural. I'm gonna start with the natural. If we need a little bit more, I'll go into the other pack. So these are the ones that you bond underneath your lash, which I've done before. However, I'm just going to use them to fill in the top portion of my lashes. I've already put on mascara, and often you can still bond, but I prefer to not. So these are the classic ones. I showed also the volume, but those ones have a thicker band on them. And since I'm not using these to bond underneath my lashes, I just want the clear band for this look. That was exactly what I wanted. I'm glad I went with the more natural ones than these more dramatic ones. I think they fit the look perfectly. And now we're going to move on to the skin, finish up the eyes after. That's how I like to work it. So I have a couple things to test out. This one thing I'm scared though, because I've tried Glow Recipe sunscreen before and it unfortunately made me break out, which I'm assuming this probably is going to, but I got this in PR and they sent me 3 of these sticks and I gave one to each of my friends when we went to Florida, and my friend was using it and it looked so good on her because it gave her that glow drop look to the skin because it has the niacinamide in it, and it protected her face, and she just would bring this out, rub it on her skin. It looks so good, but she'd also put it on her lips as well, which I thought was such a good idea. So if this doesn't work for my skin, I think I'm just going to use it as a big SPF lip balm for my lips because it looks so good on her. So just going to rub it on. I feel like you have to do like a million passes though, just to get the requirement of SPF. So I don't know how, honestly, that's going to work just because it is so thin, this product, but you can see the glow it gives. This might be good for underneath the eyes just because it's easier to get in that area. You can see it's giving that glow drop look to the skin. So we're going to give that time to sink in. I love how it feels. It smells nice too. So worst case, if this breaks me out, I'm probably just going to use this as a lip treatment, which I thought was a really good idea, and I honestly didn't think of it. It was kind of like a duh moment, like put this on your lips. Again, I just think you're going to need more, and it's very slippery, so I don't know how good this would be for underneath makeup. I've seen some people actually apply this over, and it hasn't disrupted their makeup, which I thought was interesting. So I definitely want to try that out later for reapplication, but I'm not sure how this consistency is personally going to work underneath foundation just because it's a little slick, honestly. And then because why not put more radiance on the skin, I am using a matte foundation, so that's why I feel like this is going to work. This is the new one from Laura Mercier. It's their Pure Canvas Primer, the illuminating one. I got this in one of my Sephora orders. We're going to see how this looks on the skin. I've seen really good things about this. I feel like the Glow Recipe has already started to sink into my skin. So that slickness I was feeling initially has gone away. I love how this feels. This feels silky, but in a actually prolonging my makeup sort of way. So I do love this. I'm really excited for how that feels on the skin. I haven't looked up reviews on this, but just from application, I feel like this is going to be something I really like. I might actually have to go back for the full size. I don't have a new foundation to share, but I did purchase that Tier cushion, which I wanted to maybe do dedicated or use in another video. It's just back ordered on Amazon, my shade, so I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, but I do have that coming because I know a lot of people were asking my opinion on it. I haven't used it yet, but I do want to, so I'm going to use my current favorite, which is the new MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I love this so much. It is so good. And this also has a little bit of SPF in it, which I feel like will be good. applying over top of this, and then hopefully I have my required amount. For some reason it looks a little light for me right now. This is NC27. I love the undertone of this one. One of the very few times I've ever said I like the undertone of a MAC foundation is with this color, because always it's been too yellow, too pink, but this one is nice and neutral. Just gonna add a little bit of my beauty blender just to deepen it up slightly. Need a touch more depth and warmth. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. We're looking exceptionally dewy right now. I'm gonna do my concealer, and I wanted to do a slightly brighter under eye, so I have the new Refi concealer here to test out, which I have the lightest shade, and initially I wanted to get 6, but they sent me 1 on accident, and I figured I'm just gonna keep it because I'm gonna use it to brighten stuff, and on its own, I'm not really a fan of the formula. I think it's a little bit drying for me, just slightly, but I think for adding a touch of brightness to my under eye, it does work. And just using my Hourglass concealer first. You're seeing me get ready in real time, trying new makeup and just hoping that it all works out. So love that for the coverage. And then for the Refi concealer, it is light. It says to shake before use. I just like putting a little dot in the inner corner. So just using my Hourglass concealer brush, I'm gonna brighten up this inner corner and blend it into my Hourglass concealer. A little does go a long way with that. But it brightened up the inner corners nicely. Nice little highlight there. I got the new Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. This is a liquid bronzer. You can use it underneath makeup, on top of makeup, to bronze, to mix in with your foundation, put all over the skin. There's really multi-use for this. I thought the packaging was innovative. However, a lot of you told me that the Pure Cosmetics Foundation Concealer had the same packaging. So you can actually pump it out, or you can use the doe foot applicator, which is how I'm gonna use it today. So I just thought that packaging was cool, but it's not unique to Makeup by Mario, as I thought it was. So thank you guys for letting me know. This is very sheer. So I'm gonna start out just a little bit on my cheeks, and then I'm going to just use my foundation brush, blend it in. I do have light medium, and I know a lot of people said they were similar to me and went back for medium. Because it is so sheer, I feel like I need to actually go darker. Otherwise, it's not gonna show up on my skin. I might have to do the same as you guys, but I'm gonna try and make this color work. It's not lifting up my foundation or anything. So the formula so far is working. Actually feels kind of cooling. Very natural, easy to blend in. Oh yeah. I'm gonna love this for my forehead because I feel like that's the place where it kind of can stick to the bones of my head and look patchy. Maybe I'd keep that color just for my forehead. I have an issue with bronzer on my forehead, so this is very pleasing to me how that just blended in and did darken up that area because we were still remaining light in here. So it's very natural. Maybe I should keep this one. Let me know, is it too natural? Because I'm kind of loving how that looks. We are so dewy, we need to set, and also my concealer is starting to crease, so we gotta take care of that. I might try applying this over top of powder too if we lose that depth that I'm really liking right now, but all these products are so luminous, it needs to be set. This is where my makeup personally for me comes together because I love how powder looks like on my skin. I have this new puff from Morphe that I'm going to use for powder. I'm going to apply my Charlotte Tilbury underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to set the rest of my face with my Laura Mercier loose powder. I love the point of this. It is more pointed than my triangle puffs. So I like how it can really get into that inner corner. If you have pores and texture like me, you know powder is just our best friend. And it doesn't have to look dry either. I just make sure that I'm very hydrated prior, and then it just looks normal once I add powder. You like almost have to overhydrate this again if you have dry leaning skin. So I can still see that bronze effect after setting. It's very subtle. I love how it looks. I do have a powder bronzer to try. It came broken, so I tried repairing it yesterday. And I'm hoping the formula isn't messed up because, well, this is gonna mess up my whole makeup. This is from Lottie London. I'm always looking for a new affordable bronzer to try. And I just want a light bit of color because I already like how this kind of looks, but maybe set it slightly. I don't want to overdo it though. My forehead is actually looking good for once. This is the shade Suncatcher. I love the name, and nice and subtle. Exactly what I was looking for. My nose isn't really sticking for product today. For blush, I have 2 to test out for you. I'm going to start with a cream, and I actually really love this over top of a fully set face like we have now. It's the new one from Haus Labs, and this is in Glassy Pomelo. So we're gonna go ahead and bring back that glow with this, and then I am gonna set it with a powder. I love the Pomelo Peach blush, so that's why I went with this one. And I think it's so pretty. Still using that same foundation brush we're using literally for everything. Isn't that so pretty though? And that's just that color. I personally would leave it like that and just have that glow added back to the skin with that blush. It is so stunning. I love this. I think this is also getting good reviews on Sephora, but I have been really enjoying this. And for it to be this glossy, I did feel like this was long wearing as well, because I brought this along with me to Florida and I felt like it hung onto my skin still, even though I put on top of a fully set face. You have to like that almost balmy, dewy look to the skin though, because that's the sort of texture it gives back to the skin. So if you don't like that balmy kind of consistency, you're not gonna like that, because hair could probably get stuck in this consistency. And then for blush, I picked up this one from Kosas, and these are really popular right now. They remind me of the mineralized skin finishes from MAC, like So Ceylon and all those other ones. Stereo Rose, they were so popular. This reminds me of that, so I had to try one out. I wanted to jump on the train for this, so I got the shade Blissed, which is a little bit light for me, I want to say, but the color looks so pretty. This almost acts as a highlight as well. So I'm going to use that Refi brush and just tap on top of that Haus Labs, and you can see it tones down that balm. So I actually prefer the Haus Labs on its own. This for the color and glow. If you want glow to your skin but without the texture, I would go Kosas, because it still gives a little bit of that glow to the skin, but it doesn't have that balmy consistency. 2 different formulas, but you can get different sort of effects. And I thought it would be nice to pair them together just to kind of show you the difference in what they do. But I do find this to be pigmented, even though the color is kind of light. Like, look at that color. Then I'm going to go back to my under eyes and take a mixture of those 2 crease shades we used. Put a little bit of color on my lower lash line. Then I'm going to temp the Wisp lash on my lower lashes. I feel like I might actually like this more for those. It's a wetter formula, so I feel like that's why I'm having a little bit of a hard time building it. I don't know if you can see, but I feel like it kind of balls up, and then I get these little flakes. I noticed a little bit of it falling down too for my upper lashes. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that mascara so far, not even on the lowers. Now for lips, I have a little lip combo here I picked out. We're going to start with the Freck Beauty Makeout Club Nude Muse Lip Liner, and this is in the shade 3. I want something nice and long wearing. I thought this color would be perfect for the Goldie look. And then for lips, I haven't used this on camera yet, but I got this during the Sephora sale. It is one of their sheer shines, and it's the shade 01. These are supposed to be like the YSL, I think, but this is a beautiful beige. You can kind of feel the shimmer in it, only slightly, and this smells incredible. I love the color, and this would be beautiful on its own. It's so juicy and just feels so good. You do have to reapply this though. I thought this would be pretty to top. It's the Glaze Lip Oil in Pina Colada. This is from In Beauty. It's this bronzy color, which I'm hoping to be a little sheer. I thought it would be so nice to add a little bit of that bronze. Oh yeah. It tastes really good. I love that color of lip. And then I picked this up when I was in Florida. They do have this at Shoppers now. I just saw a TikTok that it just came to Shoppers. It's the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. And I've been trying to use up my Milk Hydro Grip. I thought this would be a good alternative. e.l.f. makes incredible dupes. So I'm hoping I love this because I love the Milk makeup one. Nice fine mist. Oh yeah. It smells like GAC though. Do you remember that kind of, well, it's like slime putty people use these days, but I had like this fluorescent GAC that just really brought me back. I'll have a picture on the screen because I'm sure a lot of you who aren't in my age bracket don't even know what that is. It doesn't have like a pleasant fragrance. It just smells weird. I'm back. I'm loving how hydrated my skin is looking. I do have a fragrance to share with you before I go through a roundup of all my reviews on the products I used. It is a new one from Paul Reacts and Okja. He did another collab with them, and the one he had previous smelled like a combination of Baccarat Rouge 540 and Tom Ford Lost Cherry, and this one is called Viral Vanilla, and it smells like all those really popular viral vanilla scents that are on the market. So if you're familiar with all those viral vanilla fragrances that are on the market right now, like Bianco Latte, this is kind of a combination of all of them. He took all of those really popular viral vanilla scents and combined them in one. It is a beast. Very rarely do I come across a fragrance where I feel like I only need one spray. This is a one sprayer for me. It is so potent. It smells so incredible. If you like vanilla, this is a vanilla lover's dream. Basically all those really popular vanillas in one. He killed it. And I also love how upgraded and luxe the Okja packaging feels now. Like, this just feels a little more elevated than what they've done typically. I love the raised detail of their logo. It just feels so good. So happy to see that Paul Reacts did another collab with Okja, because he killed it the first time and he killed it the second time. Quickly going over all the products that we used in this video. I feel like for the most part, I really love how everything worked. There's just a couple products that you're gonna probably guess that I'm not too much of a fan right now, but obviously I'll continue to test. I love these products from the drugstore for brows. We have the Ardell Brow Glue and the CoverGirl Nano Pencil, the really tiny one. So good. Everything will be linked below with their proper names, but I love these two. If you're looking for a really good, affordable drugstore brow combo, check these out. I love them. I think this color might be one of the most perfect colors. Let me know. It's not too warm. It's like that perfect in between for me. Beautiful medium brown. Let me know for the color. I love it. This Refi brush I really like. At first, these always feel a little cheap to me, but I have washed this. It's holding up. Obviously, I'm going to have to test it for months to see how it holds up, but so far so good, and I love a dual-ended brush, as you know. So this, for me, perfect for powder, blush, you name it, any sort of powder product, I'm going to be reaching for this brush. For complexion, these products right here, a little nervous still about this breaking me out, but if it does, I'm going to use it for the lips. I'll keep you posted. I might actually have to go back for a full size of this Laura Mercier primer. I feel like my skin, even though we put a lot of product on, still looks pretty natural, and it just looks healthy, like really good, natural looking, healthy skin is what I'm going for. I do need to achieve that with some higher coverage products to even things out. But that's just my skin type. I love how it's looking right now, and I love how juicy the cheeks look too, which I will get to the cheek products. These two products, I personally wouldn't purchase myself. I do have the Refi concealer. It is slightly drying on its own. I think it works for that overall brightness for the inner corner. Just not my favorite concealer of all time, so I'm not going to recommend it to you guys. Then this Kylie Cosmetics Whisplash, I already feel like it's flaking on me. That's a no-go as of right now. I just can't see it becoming better if it's already flaking. The Mirage palette from Alter Ego. We'll see how my eyes hold up, but right now they look pigmented. So if this lasts throughout the day, this is a more affordable option to Huda Beauty palettes, and the formula was really easy to work with. Then I have two different kind of bronzing products that I had to fix this Lottie London one, but it was a nice kind of finishing bronzer for me. Still doesn't beat out my House Labs in terms of formula, I can already tell, but it did add the light bit of color that I needed. Nothing too deep. And then this, I'm excited to play around with a little bit more. It was very subtle for my skin, so I do think I probably could next time get a deeper shade, but I think I'm actually going to keep this shade because I loved how subtle it looked on my forehead, which is often an area of issue for me, so I feel like if I can just use that in that area and not have to overdo it or accidentally overdo it on bronzer, I feel like that would work out really nicely for me. So we'll see if this interferes with my makeup because I have a lot of creams going on. These two blushes, I love both for different reasons. I think they're both worth it. They're both very popular, very viral right now. And if I had to personally pick a preference, I love the House Labs. I love that dewy look to the skin, the cheeks. I just love how youthful and the color, and it just is so beautiful whether I'm doing something full coverage or something light every day. This also is very pretty. I'm happy I have both personally, but if I had to pick one, I personally would go House Labs, but I know a lot of people much prefer powder. You can get a similar sort of look without that kind of balmy texture to the skin. I know that will probably steer some people off the House Labs, but I personally love it for especially the summertime to have that kind of glow to the cheeks. Oh yeah, love this puff from Morphe. It has a good point to it. I love that it has those two kind of textured sides like the Beauty Blender one. It's really nice. Affordable little option if you love the Beauty Blender one because of the two sides on it. You'd really like this. My lip combo is really pretty. My lips look super juicy. I did overline probably a little more than I typically would, but I love the tone of this. Tonally, I don't typically do something so rosy brown like this, and I just think it's super flattering. So I love this combo. All the products are really nice. I love the formula, especially of this glaze, because it's not too thick, but I feel like it does have some stick to it. Not sticky, but like it's sticking onto my lips. I'm not gonna have to reapply this combo throughout the day. I love these lashes. I haven't used this set yet, the classic lash clusters. I need to find the bond so I can try doing it underneath my eyes, and I'm sure that would look even more natural. I really love the wisp of my eyes right now, thanks to these. These save the day, honestly, for the mascara. We'll see how my makeup holds up with this e.l.f. product, but so far, I love how it melted everything together. I just really love this skin. The complexion for me is just everything to me right now. And then, of course, this fragrance I just talked about. Love it and highly recommend. So a lot of amazing products in here, a couple fails, but mostly things that I'm going to continue to test out that I love. If there's any more requests you have, leave them in the comment section below for me and I'll get to them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ow. I just slammed my fingers.